Moreau's quest to the playoffs and the Super Bowl have started off very well here season 2. As last episode, we went 3-0, and there was a lot of good from Bronson Moreau. That for certain. As we look downfield, we find DK. He's got the speed, and we have our first touchdown of the season. As he will do the same here. Coming across, up for DK. Toe taps. He's dialed up. Coming across, diving. It's a touchdown. Jones read it, but didn't stick with it. We pick up the block, and we're in the end zone. As we roll, let's try to pick up a block from Walker, and we will finish the job. Feel like it slowly ate away, and great blocking from the receivers. We'll roll. He's got DK coming across. He finds him just in front of the incoming defender, and there we go. DK gets the step immediately. This time we find him, and he can stretch those legs, putting us in front. Now, as the coin flipping also made things pretty difficult for us with every game being all Madden, there were some turnovers. Come out with everyone to the one side, and ball pops free side. As we'll look to step up, ball pops free. As we try to keep this one short, jump with those. Disley coming across, the ball is overthrown. But still, gotta be very happy with how that first episode of Season 2 went. Now, as we continue, we get into some divisional play. The next two games, Cardinals, San Francisco 49ers. Then we finish off the NFC North with the Packers. So, of course, it's time to bring up that coin flip, if you could call it that. And it's time to see what difficulty we'll be playing with each. Now, remember, tails, that's going to be all Madden. Heads is going to be all pro. So for the first game, we will get a slow flip animation here. And we start with all Madden. Of course, that's what most of these have been tails. We'll flip for the second game, heads. That means we're going to have all pro versus the 49ers. That's pretty favorable, I would say, for us. And then for the Packers, the final coin flip, it will be back to all Madden. So we'll switch each game. That should mean that Moreau is set to have a fantastic game then, especially against the 49ers. Cardinals, bottom of our division. It's time to get stuck in there and hopefully keep this win streak alive. Our day begins second as we are down 3-0. Cardinals drove to start their game. Now we just need to make sure that we at least match. As Moreau looks to scramble, try to pick up a block, which he will get from Walker. Gets picked up, slammed down by Collins. A little bit of a slow juke there for Moreau, maybe the cause of that. But 2nd and 1. We'll go with Walker. He gets some blocks and, well, he didn't really get much. But honestly, that's kind of what we've come to expect from these all Madden games. Now we're going to go under center here, 3rd and 1, a little bit of a play action roll. As Smith and Jigba had the step, I don't know what it is with that play call, but there is no way to get the full amount of arm strength you should have on that throw. So as we get to our next drive, I'll note down to just not call that play, because for some reason it just doesn't work. Luckily, the defense worked out pretty well here for us. We pick up a stop in Moreau. He's looking to scramble, picking up a gain of around 15 right down the gut. That actually is a pretty good showing of the new visor that Moreau rocking. Starting 3-0, I guess he's feeling it this year. Trying to show it with his uniform as well. This time we find Smith and Jigba. He takes a little pop shot, gain 5. And we saw last episode with Moreau that he was very calculated with the throws that he decided to make. He wasn't just chucking balls around like we saw his rookie year. That time he lofts it up, he gets Lockett. He gets us down to the 13. A pretty good way to end the first quarter. And hopefully leads to a great way to start the second. Touchdown? Possibly here, as we got the levels all going to the right-hand side. As they bring the blitz, we get this one out to Fant, who gets the catch at 2nd and inches. But at least won't be a one-play touchdown here inside that second quarter. But 2nd and inches, we are very close. As we look for Smith and Jigba, the quick stop, the quick 6, and we have taken the lead here at home. But Cardinals would answer. We still hold that lead, though just by one now. 7-6 as we're just over 5 minutes left here in the first half. Throw to the outside, we get it to DK prior to the defensive lineman dropping back in coverage. Not really sure you want Armstrong out there, but if that's what the Cardinals call, then all right. That's on them. 2nd and 4 as we sit in the pocket. A great roll from Moreau. He's got yardage as he approaches the 40. Tried to get the stiff arm in there. Did not quite get it. But we're up to the 42. Of course, as mentioned the last 2 episodes, Moreau, the leading rusher of quarterbacks last season. He looked really good with it. He's trying to add that a little bit more to his game as he will throw this one away. And of course, trying to at least just sprinkle in a little bit of some play for Walker. We'll hand it off down the middle of the next play. Try to help come in to give a little bit of a push. Still only a gain of 1. Obviously, we know offensive line not the best, pretty weak in the middle, but still expect a little bit more with Kenneth Walker. Maybe we'll see that next game as we go to DK sideline toe tap. We're down to the red zone. Really forming a great connection with all of his receivers, though. As we have 1st and 10 here, they walk the safety down to the right-hand side. We'll slide the line that way, as it is a blitz boot of Baker, but it's the pressure down the middle. Tim Settle Jr. gets the sack, loss of 8. So while we tried to help ourselves out, maybe it didn't actually end up working. 2nd and 18. They're playing off coverage as we've got a long way to get that 1st down. Get at least some of it here across the middle, held onto by Lockett. He picks up 10. We have to leave him out to dry a little bit, yes, but veteran came through for us. Hard count, still not able to draw anyone off sides. As we need somewhere to go, how about across the middle? We find Lockett again, make it 1st and goal, and the 2-minute warning hits as well, so never mind the hurry up. As we've talked before about trying to get Walker involved in other ways than the run game when it doesn't work, we'll go with that here. Trying to set up the halfback screen. Get some blockers out in front for him as he doesn't quite find the edge. Thompson, touchdown saving tackle. From again, the goal line. We'll set to throw. We're going to have Disley leak underneath a slant, see if that might open up, and that's indeed what will. We'll swing it out, and okay, fancy camera work there. We swing it out for a split second. We find Disley, and that's our 2nd touchdown, widening our lead. Now as we jump forward through halftime, almost to the end of the 3rd quarter, we've only had 1 drive in this quarter, and honestly, we just didn't go very far. But DK, he's immediately got a step. We lofted to him. This is gonna be a one-and-done drive. DK to re-widen our lead. Make it 21-12. That connection, while it took a little while to develop, looking very good to start this season. As we get to our next drive, that score remains. We start with Walker, and would you look at that? He picks up 4, and we get late on in these games. Typically, that's when the running actually ends up opening up a little bit for us. See if that remains the case today. As we go a little bit of some play action, be a little light roll as we swing it out to Walker, who can only net 2 yards. That momentum just carried him a little too far to the sideline. As we have time for one more play here this quarter, we get the snap off in time. DK's got a step to the outside. We put it on him, turning up, and will get us to the 45. As we enter the 4th quarter, we currently hold ourselves a 9-point lead. But of course, you don't want to just stick with that. We would love to grow it here. Help put this game away as Moreau hands off Walker. Again, just talked about in this 4th quarter is typically when that running starts to open up. So we're going to maybe look his way a little bit more often. Because, when you got a good guy, you got to give him the ball. So we're going to find ways to do that. As we'll go back to back here, going with a halfback screen. He outruns the blocks, try to cut back in. It's only going to be a gain of 3. But I got to say, that visor's looking good. Let me know your thoughts on it as we got 3rd and 5. Empty set, hard count, no one jumps. Got a quick stop across the middle here as we find Smith in Jigba. He's going to take a couple pop shots, but he keeps the drive moving. Now as we had another failed run that goes nowhere, 2nd and 10 then. Going back to the passing game. That's what works best as Moreau will actually scramble sliding down. Incoming defenders coming from behind. And that big frame of Moreau, all 6'5", 240, keeps him on the move. As we'll go with the slants here to follow. or pick up a couple blocks and once again slide down. In a way, it's kind of like a delayed, even more so, quarterback draw. But of course, if it opens up, we'll throw it. 2nd and 3, we go with the weak side stretch walker, and it's a gain of 2. It's better than the typical gain of 1. All right, now we're just slowly, methodically melting this clock away. We're in field goal range, which would widen our lead still. As Moreau looks to scramble, he ends up taking a big hit from 2 different D linemen. It will be the field goal attempt, but honestly, that might just do it for us in this one. Or the head coach will say, you know what? Put the game away yourselves. 4th and 3. If we fail this, that could give the Cardinals a nice little boost. But we've got Fant, and we missed the throw. Well, let's hope that doesn't come back to bite us. There's definitely been times I wish that we went for it and we didn't. As Derek Hall picks up a sack, appreciate it. 3rd and long, they don't get it. So 4th and 9. This time they do get it. But as I was trying to say, there's definitely times where I wish we did go for them and we haven't. That was one I wish that we did actually take the field goal. I mean, why not? Put ourselves up 2 touchdowns late on. Cardinals trying to drive down the field here as they do pick up another short down and distance and then get a big one. Mike Williams, 22 yards. Kyler Murray thrown away. 2nd and 10, they get 8 back to Williams. They're down to the 13. Another fresh set of downs, goal to go at the 9. Now down to the 1 with 38 seconds, 35 seconds. They get that touchdown and they don't get the onside. So with that, we can head on out and Moreau can take that victory kneel. It's not a dominant win, 21-19. At the end of the day, it's the wins that count, and we get one over division rival, extending our current win streak 4-0 to start the season. And we're going to the 49ers next with a slightly easier difficulty. And by head to San Francisco, I mean head to San Francisco week. As we actually stay home, we've got a rainy one here in Seattle. As we start a little play action roll. Coming across, keep this one underneath, and we find DK. Maybe could have kept that low, but in front of him would have been a little bit better. Luckily for us, DK's got some really good hands. Bails us out, and maybe a little bit of that all-pro. We'll see how much that comes into effect in this one. As it's Smith and Jigba who was breaking open, but we get smacked down by Armstead. Now, I was hoping that we would have a little bit more success with the running game in this one, but against a stacked box like what we have here, not sure if we will, and we go with the RPO instead. We only gain 1, so about the same either way. And that does leave us with a 3rd and 9. They have the double A gap look. Hard count, still no one moves. I don't know if that's an upgrade we need to get. As we look to check it down, we get the completion, but we only gain a few. We'll have to punt our first drive. Now, I just noticed that Moreau is not using his face mask in the rain, which is interesting. What's not very interesting is how good the 49ers have started this game. Down on All-Pro, I changed it according to the flip. They have been rock solid. They're up 17-0, and our offense just hasn't been able to do much of anything. If you check the clock, we are already halfway into the second quarter. We had one drive that we just got through because we just weren't moving. Our receivers are not breaking open. Moreau's having to take care of business with his legs, and luckily he holds on to that one on the scramble. Once again, getting back to it quickly here. Double A gap. We just got to find some quick passes to eat into this deficit here. We find Smith in Jigba. He breaks a couple tackles. He only picks up 4, though. And yes, we're already rocking with some hurry-up offense here. See if we could use Lockett to get DK open at the sideline, which it kind of works, as he does get the catch down to the 13. Wasn't sold on if that second foot came down in bounds, but no booth review. That is good news for us. What would also be good news is us getting a touchdown and our defense getting a stop. We look for Fant to not Fant, it was DK. He takes a big pop shot there from Fred to jar it free. And for such a dominant linebacker, the name Fred, you know, it doesn't really instill fear as it probably should. As we're once again trying to dance around in the pocket, we look to get rid of it late. We couldn't find Walker. It's 3rd and 17 back at the 21. Moreau's taking a lot of hits this drive, trying to get his team down into scoring range. We are there, back outside the red zone just slightly. Got to finish this drive as he's got space. We get it to the back, and it's maybe slightly overthrown, but it looked like he was very much in range to catch that. The good news is we at least get the field goal, and the defense gets a stop. Now we have 101, 3 timeouts to try to get another set of points here before the end of this half. We start with Lockett, who can't squeeze it. I would imagine that if either one of these teams would know how to play in the rain, probably be the home team. Going with a slightly spread look here, a more spread look. As Moreau, he's having to step up. He's got his receiver downfield, and what is happening in this one? Obviously, it wasn't a perfect throw, Moreau on the run, but that was well in the range of his receiver. They're just not catching the balls. As this time, we do get it, Smith-Njigba, much needed. So we finally move up the field a little bit here. Now we're going to flip it, try to send the 3 side to the right-hand side. We're under 30 seconds left, still saving those timeouts, though maybe we shouldn't be. As that is thrown straight to the safety, we should have had our receiver making a cut there. He might have slipped, I don't know, but either way, a horrific first half here for us. Keep having to talk about good news just to try to boost us a little bit here. No points given up with the last few seconds of that first half, and we start the second half with possession. Just what could have been if we got some points before half. If we could hold on to one of these passes too. If we were able to find that touchdown then before, we would be playing for a tie right now. Instead, still trying to pull within 1 possession. As we go, Fant, he holds on to this one at least. Make it 3rd and 1. Hurry up, still going here as we got a trip set to the right-hand side. Got a couple different stop routes. Just got to be able to find something here as Moreau will do it with his legs. Going to pick up a nice gain, gets a little stiff arm, tackle from behind, but we're up to about midfield. Moreau's got to do it himself. We know he'll try at least. Now this was a play before half that the interception was on, as I think our receiver slipped. We pick up a block. We got Fant wide open. Toe taps down at the 12. Not to say you've got to find that one. Gonna have to make a slightly change to the play here. That didn't quite make grammatical sense. But we got DK quick slant, and he gets there just in front of the safety. That was worrisome, but it works. We'll get the RPO then following. We can hand it off to Walker, or we could swing it out Smith-Njigba. We will go Walker. He will pick up the first down. We couldn't quite push him into the end zone, but he makes it 1st and goal. From there, we just need to find the actual end zone then. We go spread. We've got some slants dialed up, some linebackers lurking in the middle. We get this one up, and Lockett nearly dropped it into the hands of the corner. Went with the high pass to try to keep it away from him. That was nearly what cost us. Now Lockett on the quick out route. He's got the step, but the ball placement not perfect. And funnily enough, with the lighter difficulty, it seems like we've got to play perfect. Rain messing with us more than I think we all anticipated as we take the hit. Settle for another field goal here? Oh, we will. But 49ers answer 24-6. Crazy how the difficulty did not swing in the manner of which we all probably thought it should have. But we've got an open receiver downfield. Yeah, we're just missing every single thing this one. After a really good 4-0 start, falling apart here week 5, though obviously being 4-1. It's not awful. 49ers were behind us in the standings. I don't know where that one's going. He actually found it as a receiver. He had to die for it, dropped it. I feel like this could be a whole different game if the balls that did make it to the receivers were actually caught. Because we've had a lot of drops. Blitz down the middle, we get Disley. He doesn't get to it, but the defender got there early. We're going to get a big DPI call here. You know, the 49ers, it's a good defense, and any help we can get can go a long way. We've still got a little over a quarter in this one. We could try to make something happen. That one, though, jump ball actually was closer to being caught than I was expecting. It doesn't change the fact that we are still down bad right now. 24-6, 2:10 left here in the 3rd. Got to start putting together something. DK. Well, the corner just happened to read that so much better, and in All-Pro, we are getting wrecked. Now, we'll jump forward almost to the end of this one. Just looking for a garbage time score here. It's 31-6. Team just hasn't been able to do anything. But we'll find at least that late score. We find Tyler Lockett. We get a touchdown in this one. but it just went completely the wrong way. And come the end, it would be the 31-13 scoreline. So our winning streak is snapped against our biggest division rival, the 49ers. They had a game plan dialed up, and I don't know, it looked like we didn't even hit the practice field this week. So as we go back up to all Madden, let's try to correct whatever shenanigans happened in that last game as we go on the road for the first time today, and Walker immediately busts off a gain of 13 right down the middle, though the Packers defense nowhere close to that of the 49ers. So take the differences with a grain of salt, and maybe just the 49ers are really good this year, or they had their really good game. This time on the move, we get a beautiful pass. We get the catch, gain of 7, Smith and Jigba. But definitely felt like, in a way, the difficulties were switched with that last one. Just absolute insanity. But that's what this series really has all been about. As DK, he had the step. Unfortunately, we didn't have the step forward to get into that throw. But with 3rd and 3, defense crowding the line here. It's a pretty tight box here. We just got to find a little somewhere to go. Well, we've got an open guy who this time makes the play on the ball, though he doesn't hold on to it. Saw a lot of that in the last game. That better be the only one in this one. But at least, hey, the defense, they've started off their game well. Get the quick stop. We're right back out here offensively, still with a 0-0 scoreboard. As that ball is out late, yeah, knew that as soon as I hit the button. That's going to set up the Packers for an easy score. Rasul Douglas just sat there waiting. Well, last episode seemed pretty clean outside the first game for Moreau. He hasn't quite kept that same ability, though he's got a wide open receiver. This time we find him turning up. That is Smith in Jigba with about a gain of 17. We can make up for the loose play by picking up a win in this one, getting us back in that column, though we're going to have to come from behind early on here. Swinging this one out, Walker. See what he can do in open space, and apparently it's not make anyone miss. I don't know why they do that here in All Madden, make the running backs seem ineligible to really do what they should, no matter their rating. Just never really makes sense to me. As the hit floats it, we get extremely lucky. Stokes isn't running back for a touchdown. We're able to step into that one. We probably have a first down, but obviously not the case. 3rd and 7. Need to get the first down here, but we've got Walker. We get hit that time, but we find him. Pass was floated a little bit more than we were wanting, but that happens sometimes. 1st and 10 here. As everyone covered well downfield, Moreau's going to look to scramble, pick up some blocks, which we will. Great pursuit, Van Ness, bumping us out at the 20. That was definitely one of, I think, the problems in the last one is defensive line just far more dominant than our offensive line. And it led to a lot of those bad plays as we look for Fant. Touchdown. He brings it in right in front of that safety. All right, we're back level here. Now let's build. Especially when the defense gets us another stop. So with just under 2 minutes left here, first quarter, we got 7-7 ball game. Pass rush works its way in. We got a receiver coming across, and again, it's just a little bit too far out in front. Moreau was hitting basically all of those last episode. Today, he's missed a lot of them. Might need to start trying to focus more on upgrading that aspect of his game as we get lucky again. There's not a pick from a safety. Had to keep it high with the corner sitting underneath, but a little too high, led him a little too much, really was the problem. Just been a consistent problem in this one. Moreau, this time on the move, he finds his target. Fant, working through the pass rush, finding his target. That is what we need from Moreau, and we know that he can do it. Gonna get back to the line quickly here. Flip the formation. Metcalf goes to the left. He's gonna go on the deeper route, and he is open. Try to lead him a little bit, and we will. Not able to turn up the sideline, but we flip the field, get to the opposite 30. At this point, that's a huge play for us. A little bit maybe of a confidence booster for Moreau as he's struggled a little bit. Now we are going to make some changes on this play. Almost entirely overhauling it. Stick concept plus Walker going out on the wheel. Fant immediately, though, gets the step, and Moreau misses it. You go through the whole process of essentially making your own play, you better hit the throw. 2nd and 10. We'll go back to the basics then. Slant across the middle. DK first down. Gain of around 12 as Rashawn Gary shaken up on the play. Appears to not be a big injury. He'll probably get back out there, but for now, that's a big gain for us. Help us maybe maneuver this pocket a little bit more as Moreau had a touchdown lane tackle from behind, saves it. And honestly, we've done a lot through Moreau in this one, not much for Walker. So let's try to get back to him here, though. Kenny Clark's it. So we'll head into the second quarter with a 3rd and 8. Gonna have trips to the right-hand side, Metcalf alone to the left. Hard count, no one moves. Look for the timely route to the outside. Lockett squeezes it down to the 1. We've been down here several times and it quite hasn't worked out for us. Hopefully this time that changes. As we will swing it out, we get 1 block, but a great job from Campbell. The flow was beautiful. 2nd and goal. We got a read option. Similar but not exactly the same. As he shucks off one, he gets in the end zone himself. Kenny Clark shaken up on that same play as we take a hard-fought lead. Now we are taking a big leap forward almost to the end of the 3rd quarter. The lead no longer intact. It's 14-14 as we barely escape our own end zone. We've really started to see exactly what we were seeing in the 49ers game. Just instant pass rush, hits on every throw attempt. So we just haven't been able to really get things moving here. We do find a good pass to Tyler Lockett, and with that, we're going to try to build off of it a little bit. Go with a hurry up. Going to move Smith and Jigba to the left. Fant goes over to the right-hand side. They walk down with our safeties to the left. They don't bring them on the blitz, but the pass rush is forming, and we can't get rid of it. Just every single play here with Moreau. He's taken a lot of hits. Luckily, it hasn't led to any sort of fumbles. That has been a problem in games past, and we maybe get by the line of scrimmage there, but not much. This is another one where they're making us work for every little bit that we can get. Try to get over the top, and that one gets picked off. Great hops from the safety, maybe linebacker, whoever it was. 12, great play. Chambers might set up a Packers lead. When you force your quarterback into playing in this kind of way, these are the mistakes we're going to see. When you're continually dropping passes, not providing any protection. That one is entirely on Moreau. I have no idea why he threw that one straight at Campbell. He should have went with the breaking route and Fant. This one has taken a dramatic turn as we enter the 4th quarter. 24-14, we're now down 2 scores. Gonna have to miraculously make some plays as it's downfield and it's not even close to even the defender. Whatever confidence Moreau had, maybe, it's the face mask, the visor. Maybe we need to take that off, get Moreau back to how he was playing before. As he checks down to the flant, sure, that works. Fant and flat, I like that combination. But in the last few games, we're looking at 3 touchdowns, maybe 1 interception. It's the opposite in this one. It's basically what it was like in the last one as well, as DK took the weirdest route concept. All you had to do was run a corner, and he ran around in a circle, and we've got 4th and 7. The coach is like, please, just try to find something here. Otherwise, this game is out of our hands. Luckily, just kidding, not luckily, it's also out of the hands of Tyler Lockett. So after such a massive start to the season, an even larger implosion the last 2 weeks, and we got to find a way to end that immediately. As this one's down the field, and it was literally sitting in the crevice of his arm after the tip, and he couldn't take that one to the house. This game has just gone erratic, and it's in a way fun, but also really confusing. As Moreau, he will scamper. He gets tripped up by the diving. I believe that was Watt. We'll make it a 3rd and 3. At least a manageable down here. Haven't had one of those in quite a while. Coverage sitting pretty well. We'll get this one out then to Walker, who will shake one. Not going to get by the second. It's hurry up or nothing at this point. Down 2 touchdowns, though 2 touchdowns and, a stop from the defense would put us in front. We just need someone to try to make a play. Look for the back shoulder. DK. Oh, right then. We find that back shoulder. Now, can we find the end zone? Something that's kind of eluded us a little bit the last 2 games. Immediate pressure forces the roll, and we can't outrun the big boy. Last I saw, Watt did not have 85 speed, but apparently, or Wyatt. Did I say Watt? Whichever one, either way. We look for DK here, diving, he brings it in. Can that break the curse of the stretch of play that we've been on? The defense gets a stop, maybe it has. And with us being now down 35-21, I think that's the answer. Now, it looked like the defense got the stop 2 to 3 times on that drive, but they just kept going for it on 4th and picking it up. So we're just looking yet again for some garbage time points here. We do not have any way of stopping the clock outside of getting out of bounds. We're under a minute left here. A little bit of some play action. DK's got a step again as it's a jump ball. He brings it in down to the 30. Well, we got to get right back to it then. We're about in scoring range. We got Smith and Jigba going on the streak. DK on the corner. As we find him and we get out of bounds at the 12. Essentially just looking to make the touchdown to interception ratio for this game even. Tyler Lockett headed towards the pylon. Coverage good. Backside diving catch. We find Fant. Unless we could get an onside and a Hail Mary, it's a garbage time touchdown. So, will that be the case? Onside is recovered by Green Bay, so that will do it then. 35-28, we dropped 2 in a row in just horrific fashion. The team in general, as a whole, defense, offense, rushing, blocking, catching, throwing, literally everything turned into a hit the fan situation, if you catch my drift. Now, even with that horrific stretch of gameplay, we still are sitting about a 2-to-1 touchdown to turnover ratio. It has massively dropped the completion percentage, that is for sure. Rushing the ball though, Bronson's still well the leading rusher on the team, and he's at least closer to getting that touchdown to fumble ratio pretty evened up. However, he now is the highest passing quarterback in the league. And if we look at attempts, he's even done it on less attempts. So if you think that we're throwing too much, there are teams throwing a whole lot more. Dak Prescott already about at 200, so Moreau doing pretty well in that standpoint. He does not have the most amount of touchdowns. He's behind Brock Purdy by 3. As for interceptions, he also isn't a leader there. He's tied, I guess, for whatever you would say here, second or whatever. But he's still not the worst. Hale, Smith, and Jordan Love have thrown at least one more. Completion percentage, though, that does need some work. So as next time, we will look to start correcting this rough stretch of play, and it's not going to be against anything easier. Next time it's against the Cowboys. Again, a really good defense. Week 8, we have the Rams. I don't know if Aaron Donald retired or not because the offseason in this series, in this game mode, was awful. But maybe we have Aaron Donald as well next time, so Moreau's got to get back to the top of his game. Probably going to be a lot more getting to the outside of the pocket, and we might need to start focusing on upgrading that throw on the run. Because sometimes it works out beautifully for him, sometimes it is awful for him. So that'll be a focus, I think, moving forward as we have the accuracies to a pretty decent spot. So make sure you stick around to see what shenanigans Superstar Mode has for us next time. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the sub button, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so we'll be back on Friday. We also have the Marylavania States Only Challenge every single Tuesday and Thursday. That team trying to get back to the playoffs after making it to the AFC Conference Championship last season. It's Super Bowl or bust season 5, and for Moreau, I'm sure he'd love to get to a Super Bowl as well. If he plays like he did the first few weeks, we'll definitely get there. This episode, maybe not so much.